They are making a difference on 938 Live.
Finish your food. There are starving children in other countries. Sound familiar? Well, that's what we used to hear as kids and possibly now even repeat to our children. Perhaps a more effective way to convey that message of needs and waste is to experience extreme hunger yourself. When 14-year-old student Subramanian Sanjana, who's also aspiring to be a humanitarian aid worker, heard of the World Vision's 30-hour famine camp, she jumped at the chance to go. She told me about what happened during the camp.
Well, what we did was we started off at different places, basically in our different groups. So we were grouped into 4 different groups as a few gathered at Marina Bay as farmers, other people gathered at other places as humanitarian aid workers, refugees, and child slaves. It was basically, we did different activities. So because I was in the group of humanitarian aid workers, we had to basically train as humanitarian aid workers. So we learned about communicating with the people we should be dealing with, as this profession would suggest. And also, we also had to learn about what sort of things go on in the minds of the people that are hit by hunger, famine, poverty, and all those other problems. So as a humanitarian aid worker, it's important for us to be more developed and holistic, because we have to understand what's going on through their mind. And most of the time, they might not want our help, but they still need our help. And we have to keep in mind that we're doing this for their good. And so it's also important for us to be dedicated towards this job. So basically, we had to deal with makeshift refugee camps by setting up tents and organizing people, because it can really be a handful when you're actually organizing one at a higher level, because people may not necessarily cooperate, and you would have to bring in policing forces so that you escort the people into their correct places. And you also need to teach them about the harmful diseases that might be around. So you have to basically be well aware of everything and understand their mentality.
But were you also going hungry for the 30 hours?
Exactly. So we had to starve for the 30 hours while dealing with these other people as well. So we learned something while we were starving. So we came into contact with actual global issues and how this was at a much smaller level compared to the actual things that might be going on in developing countries and people who are actually facing these firsthand.
What did you take away from the experience?
It has had a great impact on my mentality, and my daily problems now seem so minuscule compared to what those people actually face when they're living in this poverty. So one starving girl may not make a difference, but together with almost 1,000 other youths, as we empathize with the poor and raise awareness of this plight through campaigning, we have contributed to a greater good. And it has helped us raise awareness in not just ourselves, but also the people around us, because we also had to spread this awareness to other people on the second day by campaigning and other things like that. So we hope that, as a huge group, if we go and make such a big movement, we thought that at least people would realize what's going on outside their lives and actually help people who are facing such problems.
How much of the way that you act, think, and behave on a day-to-day basis has changed because of the famine camp?
So, before this, I used to be very concerned about my day-to-day problems, which could be as small as getting a few lower grades in a test or not getting to eat the food that I would prefer. But after this, I realized that there are more pertinent issues that need to be tackled, and you don't have to care about what you wear, drink, eat, because there are people who don't even have these luxuries and can't even dream of thinking these things.
And that was Subramanian Sanjana talking about her experience at the World Vision's 30-hour Famine 2014 camp. This has been They Are Making a Difference. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daphne Lim.
They are making a difference on 938 Live.